welcome back to International Scale Modeler. I'm Lee, and this is an At the Bench with Lee. This is the first. I feel I've been a bit remiss with this and everything, with my building for the past year and everything. I do have a little hiatus with my other jobs at the moment, so I thought, what the hey, I'll do an At the Bench video just to let you guys know what I've got going on at the moment and what I have actually completed recently. Not a lot, but there is something. Okay, so first of all, I'll do one of my completions, which was this. Now this is my first Gundam, as you can see. Whoop, lost his balance there. Now this is a Gray's Custom Kai. I think it's a Commander one or anything. I think there's a few options in the box and everything. If you can have a look over the head there. Now this is the first Gundam I've done, and I have to say I really enjoyed doing it. I've lost my mojo where I haven't been able to get to the bench much recently. I've got to say I have kind of lost my mojo a bit when it comes to modelling, and you know, because I can only grab 20 minutes here, half an hour there, if I do grab anything, it makes it difficult to get stuck into something, and a lot of stuff requires that you sit at the bench for a couple of hours. So this was a great break from the norm, something I'd never really considered, but obviously there's a little bit of a craze going on the ISM at the moment, and I bought this one. I saw it took my fancy, and I really enjoyed building it. Very easy to do. I mean, I had this done in an afternoon and an evening, doing bits and bobs and things like that, coming back, going away, coming back to it and things like that. I do like the fact that it's quite interchangeable. You get, I've got this, which is good use for cigar boxes. As you can see inside, there's loads of spares and different options that you can do with them and things like that. And I've built them up every which way I can think of and used all the different parts and things like that. But this is the configuration that I like the best. With his cannon and his axe. Even my son plays with this. He's been playing with this for a couple of days as well, which is a bit unfortunate because it's made a few of the joints a bit loose, the ball joints and everything, but because they just come off like so. And you see here you've got these ball joints and everything, and they just sit in, and these are kind of like a rubber, come off like a hard rubber stroke plasticky thing that these balls here just sit into, and they do, with use, they will stretch and wear away. So it's one of these things that I thought I'd buy one, see how I did with it. If I liked it, then I'll get another one and paint it up and everything. But there's lots of little things that it does, like like the head opens, there's a ray inside and all that sort of stuff, and there's lots of movable parts and everything, like thrusters on his legs and all this sort of thing, axes that fall off. But he's got swords and all that sort of thing, so you can have quite a few configurations. I like this one. It's quite a good pose, as you can see, and I'll probably let my son have this one, to be honest with you, because I can't be bothered to take it all apart, re-glue it back together again, and do that. But they definitely need gluing. They also need a lot of seam lines doing and things like that, and they also need where you snip them off the sprues. There's lots of these little marks here, as you can see, all over the place, and it's really, for a model like me, it's really annoying. But they are great little things, and once they're weathered up and that, there's some fantastic versions of them around. And obviously I did that review of the In Combat from Mig, who did, this is a magazine all about painting these and everything, and that looks really good. And I've just noticed that my son's put the legs on backwards. Yeah, he has. Around the wrong way. No wonder he won't stand straight. I can sort that out later. So yeah, so I really like them. I've ordered 3 more. One of them's a bit big. It's a 148 version, Zaku, which is rather expensive, but that's going to be a long-term project. That one, I'm going to pop that down on the bench, and I'm going to do bit by bit on that, because it's that big that you can do sections, leg sections, arm sections, etc., and then put it all together at the end. And I've got a master grade one, or a high grade, or a real grade, or something like that. There's 7 different grades, so I want to see what one of those is like as well. But I love it. It's very sci-fi. It's me. A lot of the Gundam, I've got to say, I don't like the ones with all the stars coming out the back and the big flares and things like that. I like these military-looking ones. These ones like this, the Zaku, and I think there's a couple of others. They're the best ones in my eye. They're not too over the top and too fantastical. So that's one thing. So I've got that's actually completed. I'm going to call that completion as it's a build, and I've finished it. Yay! We've got next. Let me take this off because that's probably getting in the camera. So that's a completion. What I've got now, I've just dug through my shelf of Doom, or rather my drawer of Doom, and this is something I bought back for this. I did this in England about, oh my God, must be 3 years ago now. As you can see, it's a Citadel thing, like a tank. I have no idea what, you know, if you go into the other, let's zoom in a bit, so hopefully it'll stop that white out a bit. As you can see, they're really good mould. I think I did a review on it. There's a review on the site somewhere from years ago. And as you can see, they're great little things. You know me, I love sci-fi. Simple as that. I absolutely love sci-fi. So anything different than sci-fi gets my vote. You know, but I made this up, and it was one of those I was going to use it as a test bed, but before I'd even done any AFE. This was before I'd even bought any AFE. And I thought I'll use this as, you can see it's all primed and ready to go. And I thought I'd use this as an experiment to do a Panzer II that I was going to do this special paint scheme on the Panzer II, which I did do. Again, threads on the site somewhere. That was for the Holy Toledo group build a long time ago, about 3 years ago. I never got around to painting it for that, and I'm going to do a really weird and wacky paint scheme for that. I don't know how weird and wacky I'm going to go, but it is going to be weird and wacky, because that is basically ready for paint as it is. It's absolutely ready for paint. So, and it's been that way for years, and to be honest with you, I forgot I had it, and it was stuffed in one of my little baskets of Doom, wrapped up in tissue paper at the back of the drawer, and I totally forgot I had it. So I'm going to do something with that. That is, that's going to be my next painting mission actually. I think I'm going to have a crack at that and just see if I can come up with something on there. It's going to be interesting anyway, that's for sure. So we've got that as well. Now let's have a look what else we've got. Lots of unfinished stuff. I also did this was something I started for the group build, which is dusty, an A6 intruder, which I did for the eggplane build, again which I never got time to do. I've got it to primer stage, and then that's it. That's as far as I've got. But that, again, that's literally ready for paint, ready to go. I should get that done as maybe a little fun project in between the other odds and sods I've got going on. We've also got this is Panzer, obviously, that I did. If you can see overhead, I started building. Again, this was probably 2 years ago or something like that. And I've got to the point where she is gloss coated, and if I bring you in over the top, you can see, you can't really see the effects I've got on the tailpipes there, but there are some really nice effects I've got down. But where I've got to gloss coat it, it's ready for weathering. You know, you kind of lost the effects a bit, but that'll come back once I matte coat it, once all the weathering has been done. But problem with this is I have found out that this is all I have here in Spain with me. The rest of the kit is obviously up in the loft in the UK, which hopefully I'm going to be emptying over the next couple of months. So that it's going to go back in a drawer, and I will finish that, because basically it's just the tracks and everything. There's obviously another tub of Doom in the UK with all the other bits and bobs from it in. But that's glossed and ready for weathering, so I might even start weathering that if I get bored or something. You know, use that as maybe a workhorse and see how I do and everything. Because weathering tanks is not one of my fortes, as you guys probably know. So we've got that as well. We've got this, which I'm currently building at the moment. Now this is something that I'm building for If It Floats SIG. I may or may not get it finished in time. But as far as it goes, this kit, I think we just zoom in on the overhead for you, is not a fantastical kit at all. It's this one here, which I'm ashamed to say we do actually sell on ISM, which is the Aquataine from FMK. I have to say, when I reviewed it, I did say it had a few flashy bits, and you know, there was something that wasn't quite right with it. But I can say now that the way the hull fits, I haven't put any pictures up on ISM. As you can see here, this seam was way out. I mean, I burned through a sander on each side on that, just getting that flat and level. There's a lot of filler in there, and as you can see all around here, there's filler here, filler here, filler here. filler all across here. You've also got filler all in here, in these parts and here. But apart from that, the kit itself, the instructions are quite nonsensical. There's probably 20 different wrong numberings on there, part numbers that are labelled wrongly, and there's a part that's missing altogether, which is the anchor. There just isn't an anchor on any of the sprues whatsoever, which is a bit disappointing. And a few bits of the plastic aren't right, they're not moulded properly and things like that. So it's unfortunately though, it's the only offering you've got of something like this. But I'm working on it. I'm hopefully going to get it finished. As you can see, a few bits of PE and stuff like that on there. Not particularly brilliant. Boat. I mean, obviously, I've just got it on the stand there. It can come off, but I'm going to see what I can do with it. It is definitely a filler queen. Not a lot fits properly, but it's not just that. It's just the way they get you to build it. On the instructions, they want you to build all of the top side, and then decide whether you want a waterline or a full hull version. As it says here, right at the very back of the instructions, you can do that. Okay, and that's right at the very rear. So that's the last thing it tells you to do. So what you've got to do, if you've seen the pictures, obviously here, I'll put them up here for you, where I'm clamping the crap out of it, just to get that hull anywhere near straight and reasonable. With all those bits on there, would have been impossible. So bit of a weird way. The instructions haven't been thought out very well at all, I have to say. In fact, you nearly don't follow them. But apart from that, it'll look nice when it's finished, I think, because it's not a subject I'd normally do. I thought I'd pick this for a quick build, and it's turned into quite the opposite, actually. Quite the opposite indeed. It's turned out to be quite a lengthy build, just because I've had to fill weight sand, and because of that, as you know, because I haven't got a lot of time at the bench, it does kind of make it very difficult to get a rhythm going, so to speak. But anyway, I will persevere with that. I think it'll be worth it in the end. We've then got a couple of others. We've got this tank here, which I don't know if you guys remember. This is an old Tiger. This is from, God, it must be a year and a half now. It was the In Honour Cohen SIG, which was, yeah, it must be a year and a half, because it wasn't the Christmas just gone, it was the Christmas before that, just as we moved out to Menorca. And I've got a lot done, and it's pre-shaded and everything. You can't really see it on it doesn't pick up well on camera, but it does look it's quite a nice effect on here. This is basically ready for gloss coat now, and then I should be painting all the tools and doing a bit of weathering and everything. I've literally just, where has it been glossed? No, it's got to be glossed. I've got to gloss that. So that will be done as well. I might start doing it. I'm going to keep these on my desk now instead of the Shelf of Doom, just so that it can give me a reminder and give me a prod, just to say, well, I've got an hour, I can start doing a bit of weathering on this and that and things like that. But as you can see, I have a lot of unfinished subjects at the moment. We've also got this, which is something I don't think I started it for a SIG. I just started it as a little mojo builder about a year ago, and again it turned into be a filler queen. All this here, this is an Eduard kit, one of their earlier ones. All this had to be refilled, realigned and everything, all around the wing roots there. Top side, quite a bit of filler, rescribing and things like that. Luckily there's not too many lines to rescribe on this. But again, I love the colour scheme of this, and there's not many offerings for this kit out there, so it is the best one in town. But again, this has been like this for a year, I think, something like that. That's ready for paint as well. We've also got another finish, which is another Bandai kit actually, and it's R2-D2. Now the guys at the birthday club bought me the Stormtrooper and a box which had R2-D2 and the R5 unit in there as well. And as you can see, they build up fantastic. Again, it's one of those quick builds that it was just one of those ones that I sat there for an afternoon. My son went out with my wife, and I had some time to myself, so I managed to get on and do it. These Bandai kits are absolutely fantastic. They truly are good kits, and even though they're snapped together, and I know the purists among you will say, oh well, blah blah blah, and it's not a model. They are models. You can glue them. I mean, this is glued. This is done properly. It has been glued and everything. Again, I think next time I do any of the Star Wars ones, I'm going to weather them like I did with the TIE Fighter. That came up really nice with a bit of weathering and everything as well. So that was quite good. But that was fun. Again, that was fun to build. Very easy for me. I didn't need the instructions on that one because it's basically the same as the R5 apart from the lid section, the top section. But I think they're fantastic. Great. I love Star Wars anyway, so it's always a win for me. The other two, I've got two more things, believe it or not, that I have got to start work on. I've got the Vulcan here. This was their GWH 1144. It's sizing 1144. If you go to the overhead, it is a fantastic kit. Lovely engineering on this. Beautiful, beautiful kit. If anyone hasn't built a GWH kit yet, then you really should go out and get one. They are fantastic, lovely. The markings, the panel lines and everything are absolutely spot on this, as you can see. Really beautiful. And again, obviously with all these birds and everything, I've got boxes of spare parts that are all primed up and ready. So this is ready to go as well. The only bad thing I'd say about this is the cockpit. It's very bare and masking up that cockpit. Let's get you in a sec so you can see. You can see there all the different strips and things like that. Masking up was an absolute ball ache. It really was a complete pain in the bum. But got there in the end. It took absolutely ages to do that. Overall, it's a fantastic kit. You know, GWH are really leaps and bounds on their new kits as well, especially these 1144, the English Vs. And I should be hopefully looking forward to the Valiant that I would hope they'd bring out sooner rather than later. But I did just do their 15 RAM, and that was a smashing piece of plastic. It was a box full of plastic, so really, really good kits. If you haven't had a GWH kit, go and get yourself one. They are worth every penny. And the last thing, as you can see, I have quite a bit going on here. I really have got my mojo back from modding, so I should be cracking on with these. The last thing left is Judge Dredd. Now Judge Dredd here, as you can see, this was done for a figure build. Again, oh my god, I think this has been in the drawer for a couple of years as well. And I love Judge Dredd. As you can see, I've already started the pre-shading and things like that. Before I started, I've never done a figure before apart from pilots for aircraft and things like that. But as you can see, that's ready for paint now. I've done the highlights and things like that, and the black basing and everything. And I was going to go to town on the paint on that, and literally, I can't remember, I think we moved house or something, I can't remember. Put it on the back burner. I've got to say, I'm really worried about this because you can't buy this now anymore, and I don't want to cock it up. So I really want to go to town on this and do this right, because 2000 AD, for me, it's even better than Star Wars. 2000 AD, I grew up, I nearly had every comic ever produced in 2000 AD up until the age of, I was about 17, 18, and unfortunately, my stepmother threw them out when I moved out when I was a teenager. Literally thousands of pounds worth of, you know, some of them are quite rare, and the whole collection would have been worth an absolute mint now. I mean, 20,000, 30,000, you know, so it's a bit sickening really. I've managed to download all of them on digital copies, so I do have them, but it's not like having the real physical thing in your hands, that's for sure. So as you can see, yeah, I say, there's a lot to be getting on with. I've got nothing new there to start with. I have got something new I do want to start, and I just can't make up my mind which one it's going to be. Now it will be, but I'm going to finish 2 of these before I start anything else, and that's in stone. I'm saying that to myself. I'm not starting anything else until I finish 2 of those. But I think it'll be a choice of that GWH T33A, fantastic kit. Reviewed that. It's on this channel. Go and have a look. But that is for 148. It's not an amazing amount of plastic, but it's ever so good, and it'll build up to a lovely size model and things like that. Or the Freedom model kits F20 F20B, the Tiger Shark. This which is a bit of a what if, but that's a fantastic looking aircraft. So I may build those as well. One of those. I haven't made up my mind which one, but it's going to be one of those, that's for sure. So that'll be interesting to see which ones I'm going to do. But I'm going to say I'm going to get that Aquataine finished. So this is going to be the next one that's going to be finished. I'm going to try and get that done. I think we've got about 10 days left until the floaty thing SIG finishes, if it floats SIG finishes. I may or may not get done. There's not a lot more plastic to put on there, I have to say. I've got to put the rudders on and the stern drives, and I've got the PE around there, which is going to be an absolute pig. Got PE railings and a few other odds and sods on the deck, and that's it. And then she'll be ready for a bit of paint. So I'm going to do that. I'll have that ready for paint hopefully in the next couple of days. I'll put the base down and see where we are with that. And I really think I want to do this one as well next. So, because I just want to do something different for that guy. But as you can see, I have loads to be getting on with, and I have done some stuff, and I must say the Gundam and the Star Wars kit has rekindled my mojo. And I only lost my mojo because, as I said right at the beginning, it's a time thing. If I can only sit down for 20 minutes, half an hour, you can't get stuck in. It's not enough time to relax and chill out, because that's what I do this for. And it has been quite stressful recently, I have to say. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm going in my room, closing the door. I don't want to hear another word from anyone for a couple of hours. And it really has chilled me right out. So I'm back in love with modelling again, and I've never fallen out of love with it, but it's just when you get to think, oh, I don't want to start doing that and not be able to finish it, you know. Yeah, so lots to be getting on with. This lot is going to get done in the next 6 months, fingers crossed. I'm hoping to make regular at the bench updates, probably every couple of weeks or something like that, maybe, in amongst the other reviews and obviously the monthly news show and everything. But yeah, so there you go, first at the bench from Lee. Thanks for watching and putting up with me and listening to my waffle. Hopefully exciting times when I get some of these done, and people can stop taking the mick out of me for having all these kits and really not being touched whatsoever. So until next time, take care, bye bye.